doing another awesome video, and it is been a month since I've made a video, but I thought today was a big day. Avengers Endgame released, and might as well make a review on it, just like I did last year with Infinity War, and also come back at such a great time just to be like, I don't know, the returning person, and just it just feels like the right time. So I've cleared my mind and stuff, but nonetheless, let's just get right into the review. So, Avengers Endgame. This has been 11 years in the build-up and making, I guess, because they started in 2008 with like Iron Man and the Hulk, and just built up the entire cast of the Avengers from there. And throughout the time of making all those movies for the superheroes, they have given all the actors that play roles in the Marvel universe such big, like, I don't know, statuses as celebrities. So this is just like, I guess, the big come together, almost like a reunion of everybody, in the sense that this is the final gathering. I don't really know how to describe it, but nonetheless, it's sort of like, that's why it's called Endgame. It's just like the end to the story. But let's just start with, like, I don't know, laying like the layout of the entire movie, in my opinion, without spoiling anything, because this is a no spoiler review. The first third of the movie, because when I first, even before I went in, I was guessing it'll be in thirds. First third will be really like slow and just getting like the I guess layout of how, like, where everyone's at, what's like the status on everyone, and how they're feeling after what happened in Infinity War. So that kind of takes a while to like build up into what happens in to the second half. But my thoughts on the first third of it, but pretty good, I guess. I don't know. There were some good jokes, obviously, and the movie is pretty funny, actually. So like, that's another aspect of it, is it's actually comedic in the sense that if you want to go here and get a couple of laughs, I'm certain you'll at least laugh at something in it. And there's just a couple of jokes in general. But first third is just like I said, just people are, it's like telling you where everyone's at after what happened in Infinity War. Just like, oh, this is how Hulk is feeling after what happened in the end of Infinity War, and at what happened at Wakanda. But like, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the boring parts. That's why it's like, okay, you deal with the slow stuff, but the second and third parts are so second and third parts of the movie are so much more action packed, and just that's my cup of tea, I guess, with the superhero movies, especially Marvel. But yeah, that sort of leads up to explaining what the plan is, because they have like a whole goal in the movie. I'm not gonna say what it is, but once everyone, they start to, like, I guess, get to like the meat of the movie, where I would say the second out of the second third of the movie is definitely where the most stuff happens. I'm not gonna say what, obviously, but seeing every actor, like how they portray their role in this movie is so good. I don't know, just something about seeing like how Robert Downey Jr. acts, like plays his role as Iron Man. It's like amazing, because I was also looking into like the scenes where, like, the cinematography as well. When they like have a camera going right past their face, it must take like so much time to get that mentality that you can't look into the camera. Like, if it goes right by your face, like right here, and I'm just looking straight at that camera, I don't know. I know there's something filming me right here, so it's almost like a distraction. Like, I'd probably get, like, I don't know, sidetracked and look at it and ruin the shot. But the people who like film the movies are insane. Because I was looking at like some of the shots that like pan around like different parts of a room or something. Like, that's insane. And I know some of it's CGI and stuff, and it's not all like just using a handheld camera. But nonetheless, I still think they deserve more props for what they do, because it's crazy the people that film these things, and like how much detail goes into every scene and stuff. Because there's a lot of like little I'm sure, hidden Easter eggs and stuff that I didn't really notice. But nonetheless, second half, the plan is made, like the meat of the thing. They do the big part of the movie, like, I guess the action is the best way to put it without saying anything to like, too much and ruining the surprise. But seeing all the people that survived in Infinity War come together and just like, I don't know, like, work as a team, in the sense that they're all like in the same scenes and like acting together. It's crazy, because like it's so much talent in one room, or scene, I guess is the best way to put it, is everyone in every shot, and is very talented. And this was my opinion. I know it's obviously like up for debate, or you don't have to agree with it. I thought they ended Endgame, besides the main like 5 Avengers that survived, or 4, I think 5, but there's a couple of characters, like, for example, Rocket Raccoon, War Machine, who else? Nebula, and people like that. I would never consider them main characters in a Marvel movie because they're always just like in the background doing something in one of them, whether it be Nebula running around in Guardians of the Galaxy trying to hurt somebody, or War Machine just being a secondary character in general in the Iron Man movies, I think. Nonetheless, they get some spotlight and become not A-list celebrities, but like A-list part, like main roles in the movie, which I think was really nice of them, the Russo brothers to give some more light to the people that have minor, I say minor, not minor, but like smaller roles than someone, let's just say like Chris Hemsworth. It's crazy that they actually decided to, like, the people they picked specifically, I don't know if it's based on the comics or not because I haven't really read them, but I appreciate that they like took the time to pick certain characters that aren't seen as much on the screen and make them into this like main team in the movie. And it's like they say whatever it takes. So they put all the people and they all get assigned to work, like do their parts in general. That's when all the action happens in the second thing. And the action scene in this movie, I know it leads up slow in the first third, but the second half third is so much better because I don't know. I think this movie has some of the best action scenes I've ever seen in Marvel movies. And I know it takes so much time also to like program all the CGI because half the things you see in this movie aren't real people or anything. It's all like designed on a computer, and it's insane to see how much stuff they must have worked on. That's why I've been saying these things been in the making for years at least, because they have to work on all the stuff like on the computers to make characters and stuff like that. That's crazy. So yeah, I would definitely say my favorite part of the movie was the second third, where, like I said, most of the action happens, and then there's a climax, and after that it sort of slows down. So it's almost like if you think of the hero's journey in the sense that it starts slow, they go up this mountain of adventuring, they hit the peak, and sort of like calms down the movie, and it doesn't end on a bad note. It's sort of like, I'm not gonna say like anything, but it settles itself. It takes the good with the bad, I guess is the best way to put it, and I'm not going to say what that means, but I don't know. It's a very medium movie, and people are saying they like Infinity War better just because how menacing of a villain Thanos is, and like how in this movie he's just not as like terrifying and so like mean to everything, I guess is the best way to put it, because he was just like so like destructive to everything he saw in Infinity War, but I still think this one's better just for how much of a lead up it's had in the last couple of years, and I don't know how much of an impact it's made. Like if you look at the box record sales, I know it doesn't really matter to actually how good the movie is, but this thing is like a phenomenon worldwide right now, and it's crazy how much hype there is around it. That's why everyone in their family's trying to see it right now. But nonetheless, I would definitely suggest seeing it because it's one of the best if not the best superhero movie I've ever seen. Just for the actors, the cinematography, the CGI that goes into it, it's crazy. Everything about it is just insane. Like it blows the roof off of every other movie I've ever seen for superheroes, and that says a lot because I've seen a decent amount of the Marvel ones in the past like 4 years, and they've been good. And even like comparing it to Star Wars, those have a lot of like CGI and like good shots, and they go all over the world to film those. This I think takes the cake for like where they film it, how they film it, who's in it, how they work on like acting and combat. I'm pretty sure they have to like get their combat like they have to like learn the combat things and stuff and like get stronger for the movies. That must have taken a while, so I would definitely give everyone props for that, for like learning all the moves and stuff, and the stunt teams. Those are the reasons these movies look amazing, because not everyone does their own stunts. It's like I'm certain a lot of these actors have other people that look just like them doing their things. That's why stunt doubles are amazing, because they just like they do what the actors don't, as in they don't want to risk that person getting hurt and then ruin anything. All I'll say is everyone on the team that worked on this movie deserves mad props for like all their parts they did, because everything goes together and makes one masterpiece in the end. This movie to me was really good. Like when I came out of it, I was like that, because I didn't have a good like vibe. I didn't feel happy with the ending of Infinity War. I felt like I don't like cliffhangers or whatever, only because they make you wait for this one a complete year just to see this one. But would I say it's worth the wait? Yeah, because there's just so much stuff in this one. And like I said, you take the good with the bad, the slow with the fast, and you wait. Patience is key with this movie because, like I said, some things are really slow, and then it leads up to a really nice, fast part of the movie where everything's so fast and so much is happening, you can't even see everything on the screen. Nonetheless, the final third, like I was saying, I think it's the final third. Maybe it's like half of it is also fast, but the other half is very slowed down. Everything just settles, and all the ties that you're like confused, like what happened to them, it's sort of answered in the sense that they just go around um, showing the aftermath of math, just like they did with Infinity War. They in the beginning of this one, they showed the aftermath of that and how people are reacting. But without saying any more, without spoiling anything, obviously, I would say it fits the hero's journey thing perfectly with like going slow and they hit the mountain and then just die down again in general. Um, this movie is very it fits that, like I said, that fits that pattern, but it also how would I word this, is a solid movie. Okay, I had nothing bad to say about Infinity War. I just didn't like the ending, but this one I liked the ending because everything just made more sense, and I liked how this one would, I would say, is fast in the center but slow in both the beginning and the end, because it's almost the alternative to Infinity War. Infinity War was a lot of action, but it was just, I didn't like sections. I didn't like how there were sections like, oh, they're all there. There's people fighting over here, and there's people, a big war over there, and just the action scenes didn't have me as impressed as they did in this one. Maybe that's just my opinion. I mean, maybe people disagree with that. Like everyone doesn't think, they just think Infinity War was better in general. I did a poll on my Instagram, and people were saying that already, that they like Infinity War more. But that's just, like I said, you can have your own opinion. I don't really care, or I don't really mind you liking that one more than this. All I'm saying, this is a solid movie. If I had to rate it out of a 10, well, that's probably not the best way to put it. If I had to give it like a letter grade, I would say A minus. Just like I said, because it's a really long movie, and like you have to have a lot of patience. Like I said, for 3 hours, just sitting there. Even though some of it's the credits, it's really a big movie in general. Like it felt way longer than 3 hours, and I was sitting in there. I was like, yo, this movie feels like 5 hours, and that's not a bad thing. It running on more than you think it actually was, because that just tells you how good they are at pacing it. They're like, you're like, oh my god, after all this action, and then there's still this much more. It's like, I don't know. They just keep you thinking that it's never gonna end, and that's a good thing about Marvel movies. Is you never really know where it's gonna end. Even though you could say things in this movie are predictable, I would not say I expected anything of it to come out the way it did, because they were so discreet about the teasers and trailers. So I was just like, I have no idea what to expect for this, and that's a good thing. Being surprised can be a good thing, but also a really bad thing. Like other movies in the past years have really disappointed me, just from like seeing too much in the trailers or seeing too little and not being impressed with like high hopes. I had almost like the bar was just average because I didn't know what to think. I knew it was gonna be a good movie just by how much people bought tickets, and it's just the hype. With this much hype, you have to like do something right. You have to be doing something right all these years to get this much money and like the fan base around Marvel movies. Nonetheless, I'm rambling. A minus. It's not like like the godsend of superhero movies, but it's really good for what it does, and I think it is the best way to wrap up stuff, and the way it does, like I said, the slow, fast, slow. I just like that pacing so much, and like I wasn't getting antsy or anything watching slower scenes like take place, because I knew that there was gonna be something big happening like at some point in the movie, and that definitely came around. So, what would I say about the movie? Like for recommendations, definitely go watch it. I didn't do this, but I would definitely suggest going to the bathroom before you go in the theater, because 3 hours could be painful, and you don't want to miss you don't want to miss anything in this movie, because so much stuff happens in a minute that like you would be like, where are we? I don't even know what just happened. That's how complicated this one is, I feel like, but not for a bad thing. So nonetheless, go check it out. If you are new, and I know I haven't said this in a while, hit that thumbs up for the Infinity Gauntlet. Hit that like on, it's not really showing, the Infinity Gauntlet likes up. If you want to save the universe, that is. If you want half the people on this earth to die, so be it. If you are new, hit that red subscribe button. Otherwise, I will snap you out of existence. And hit that little bell to know whenever I upload, just so you'll be alert. Otherwise, if you don't, you will be screwed. And I might have to snap you as well. But other than that, more videos are coming very soon. Probably in the next couple of days, a Crash Talk review on the album, the School by Q album's Crash Talk. And maybe a couple of things talking about new stuff happening in games in general. I don't really know. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy this, I'll do all that stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.